Hi, second grade, it is Miss Crawl, and today we're going to be working on another comprehension skill. We are going to be working on making, confirming, and revising predictions. So our first step is, what is a prediction? So a prediction is a guess about something that's going to happen. So if you and I are having a conversation, I might say, I predict it is going to rain tomorrow. That's saying I'm guessing that it's going to rain tomorrow. And you can do that in your reading. When you're reading, you can make predictions about what will happen next in the story or what you're going to learn from the story. And this is a great skill and strategy to have because this will help you comprehend and understand what you're reading. If you're reading, you would say, I think this is going to happen. As you read, you can see if your prediction is correct, see if you're understanding the story, and you know what's going on. Now, sometimes our predictions aren't right, and that is totally fine. But if our prediction's not right, that means we go back and revise it. So revising is going in and fixing. So we can make a prediction. That's when we write down, this is what I think is going to happen. We read and confirm it. We find out, we use that information. And then depending on what we find out, if our prediction's right, we don't have to revise it. But if we need a little bit of tweaking to our prediction, it wasn't totally right, we can go in and revise it and fix the prediction to match what happened. So we're going to go ahead and we have a little story. We're only going to read, and so you can read titles and pictures. They can help you make predictions before you even read the story. Or as you're reading a story, if something happens, you can predict what's going to happen next. You can make predictions all throughout the story. Today, we're just going to be making predictions off of the title based solely alone. So whatever the title says, we're going to predict what we think is going to happen. But again, you could be reading a story and read the first paragraph and make a prediction about what's going to happen in the next part or the next paragraph or the next page. That's totally fine too. You can make predictions whenever. We're just going to be doing it based off the title today. So we're going to read the title and we're going to make a prediction about what we think the story is about. We're going to read the short story. We're going to use and confirm our prediction by using the details in the story to help us decide, is our prediction correct? And if it's not, then we're going to revise it and fix it so that it is. So the first one I'm just going to do, and you're going to follow along and watch how I talk it through. And then we're going to do another story that I'm going to challenge you to try on your own. So for right now, you don't need anything. I just need your attention and focus. So the directions at the top say make, confirm, and revise predictions. Read the title and write a prediction. Then read the passage and complete the exercises. All right, so our title, A Birthday Cake for Dog. A birthday cake for dog. So I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction. I predict. What do I think is going to happen? I predict, let me get my text box, that dog is going to eat cake. Make this a little bit bigger. So that's my prediction. I predict that dog is going to eat cake. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right, so I predict that dog is going to eat cake. Based off of the title alone, A Birthday Cake for Dog, I'm assuming that's dog's birthday and that on his birthday, he's eating cake because I see a birthday cake. So I predict that dog is going to eat cake. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read through the story and we're going to find out. So follow along silently as I read out loud. Kat is at the market. She needs flour, sugar, and eggs. She is making a cake. Today is her friend Dog's birthday. They spoke last week. No one will remember my birthday, Dog said. We will see about that, thought Kat. Kat told Dog to come to her house today. There will be a surprise party waiting for him, and also a big cake. So that was our story. It says underline details that tell about your prediction. Reread these details. Was your prediction true or not? So we need to go through the story and let's find things that help kind of make our prediction stronger, that follow along with our prediction. So our prediction again is I predict that dog is going to eat cake. So let's find where that's in our story. So Kat is at the market. She needs flour, sugar, and eggs. She is making a cake. Ooh, so there we see a cake. I see about a cake, so I'm going to underline it. Today is her friend Dog's birthday. They spoke last week. No one will remember my birthday, Dog said. We will see about that, thought Cat. Cat told Dog to come to her house today. There will be a surprise party waiting for him, and also a big cake. Ooh, well, right here we're talking about cake too. But do those details help my prediction that Dog is going to eat cake? So they kind of are making us assume, right? But my prediction about what's going on in this story, we don't even get to Dog eating the cake. So I think we need to fix it. We don't still know if it's true or not because it hasn't happened yet. My prediction was almost too far in advance that I predicted something would happen. So was my prediction true? Not yet. So my revised, I want to show revising a prediction. So I predict, based on what we read, I predict that Cat is making Dog a cake. And we can look up here and see that evidence in our story. She is making a cake. They're talking about Cat. And then we have there will be a surprise party waiting for him and also a big cake. Those two details helped me revise my prediction to something that's more accurate. I predict that Cat is making Dog a cake. Based on those details, we can predict that. We know that. Number 2 says, what do you think will happen when Dog arrives at Cat's house? What do we think will happen? Well, that kind of goes back to my old prediction, right? I predict that Dog will be surprised and eat cake. I predict that Dog will be surprised and eat cake. Because let me go back and find why I think that in my text. So we see that they spoke last week. No one will remember my birthday, Dog said. So Dog thinks no one's going to remember it. So he would be surprised from that. Cat told Dog to come to her house today. There will be a surprise party. That makes me think that. And also a big cake tells me they're probably going to eat cake, right? I can predict, I can make that guess based off of the story, right? We're not going to make predictions off of something we don't know. We want to make sure that they're coming from the story. We need details to help us, details from the title, details from pictures sometimes, or details from the text to help us make a prediction. And here, my prediction wasn't totally right. So that happens. That's perfectly fine. Sometimes our predictions aren't exactly right, and that's why we revise them or fix them. So now, second grade, we are going to do one more small one, but I'm going to challenge you guys to do this. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and pencil. If you need to, pause me, and then once you have those materials, unpause me. So I'm not going to have you guys kind of make your paper like this. We're just going to use it to write. So at the very top of your paper, I want you to write your prediction. So listen to the title. Colorful starfish in the sea. So I want you to write, I predict. Go ahead and write what you predict is going to happen. If you need to pause me while you write it, go ahead. But I want you to pause and write down on the top of your paper, I predict. What do you predict? So I'm going to say, I predict there will be colorful starfish in the sea. Based on the title, Colorful Starfish in the Sea, I predict we're going to see there will be colorful starfish in the sea. All right, follow along silently as I read out loud. Starfish live in the sea. They live near rocks or in the water. The sea waves wash over them. Starfish look like colorful stars. Starfish have flat bodies. Some have 5 arms. Some have 24 arms. Starfish come in many colors. Some look like rocks or sand. Others can be red, yellow, or orange. All right, so we need to first confirm our prediction. So we need to use the details from the text to either confirm or find out our prediction's not totally right. So I know you can't underline because you don't have this paper, but if you want to get your pointer finger out and pretend to underline the details that confirm your prediction. So go ahead and pause me and do that. Take your finger and pretend to underline the details in the story that confirm, that help your argument for your prediction. So I'm going to go ahead. My prediction is I predict there will be colorful starfish in the sea. Well, starfish look like colorful stars. That helps my prediction that starfish are colorful. Starfish come in many colors. That helps my prediction that there are many colors. Others can be red, yellow, or orange. That also helps my prediction that there will be colorful starfish in the sea, because that talks about the colors. So in this case, I don't really need to revise my prediction. I feel pretty strong based on those details about my prediction. But if you feel like you need to revise your prediction after, go ahead, pause me, and do that. So number 2 says now, what do you think you will read next about starfish? Write your prediction. So I want you to, based on the reading we did, what do you predict we would learn next? Go ahead and pause me and write that on your paper underneath the other work you've done or anywhere on your paper. Go ahead. So this article talked a lot about starfish and gave us good information. I personally think we're going to learn a little bit more about their life. Maybe what they eat, how they breathe, do they breathe underwater? So I'm going to say I predict I will read about what they eat. I feel like that's what the article is going next. We learned about where they live, about what they look like, and I think we're going to learn how they survive. So what do they eat? If you had something like that, awesome. If you had something different, that was also possible, because there's a very good chance they might start talking about something else. All right, second grade, that was awesome work. So today we talked about making, confirming, and revising predictions, right? So a prediction is a guess about what's going to happen next, or maybe what you'll learn in the story. So you can make predictions anywhere as you're reading. Before you even start reading, you can make a prediction based off the title and the story. Halfway through your story, you can predict what's going to happen next. It's totally up to you. And then you use the details in the story to confirm your prediction, to give you that evidence that your prediction's correct, which it might not be, and that's totally fine. If your prediction's wrong, like it was in that first example we did, you can revise it, right? Fix it based on the details that you did learn. All right, second grade, awesome job, and I'll see you next time.